right, so it is October 20th, 2024. I'm in the state of Oklahoma, my home state, and I'm heading out to do a little work, but I'm actually going to sit for the first time in a stand in Oklahoma. First hunt of 2024, and here it is 20 days into season. Our season opens on October 1. And the main reason I haven't hunted is because I haven't had any shooters on camera. I had one mature 8-pointer in one of the places we have permission to hunt on. 4 or 5-year-old deer, maybe 135, 140 inch 8-pointer. Good buck. Dad named him Rufus. I've been letting Dad name the deer, and unless he gets kind of crazy, I don't rein him in much. I just let him go with it. So Rufus, right after Dad named Rufus, Rufus quit showing up. And so we don't know if Rufus died or got shot because there was a youth gun season. It was actually the last 2 days and today. Either way, heading out to a new property. I just paid to lease this small 40-acre tract of land from an old farming buddy of mine, and went out there yesterday, put out 2 cameras, found some old rubs, some new rubs, found an active scrape, hung one tree stand, got Dad's ground blind kind of location identified. Going out there now to put Dad's ground blind up. But just overnight last night, we had 4 to 6 different bucks on the camera. One for sure is a mature deer. Dad named him Buster. So Buster is a big old body sucker. He's got just a mainframe left side, like a 4-point side, and his right side, we believe, we don't have a ton of pictures of him, but his right side appears to be just a big long spike and a big bladed, like kind of forked eye guard thing with some roughage around his bases. Big old bodied sucker, probably on the decline. Again, never had any recon on this piece of property before, so no way of knowing how long he's lived in the area, but he's definitely an old deer. So I'm heading out today. I'm going to set up Dad's ground blind, going to get in the tree stand, put the camera arm up. It's 81 degrees. It's still so hot, late season October. It's going to stay hot for the next week or so. Don't know how much the deer are going to move during daylight, but they are starting to show themselves a lot more in the daylight on the morning camera when the hours are a little bit cooler. But morning sits can be troublesome, especially if you're hunting over the mega low corn piles. So okay, ain't been able to hunt in the morning. Couldn't, just bust them right out of there. Let's get out there, let's get it set up, and finally sit in a tree stand in Oklahoma. Morning, Dad.
Morning, that's bright.
It is really bright. We just got to our spot. We got up at 3 o'clock this morning, and it is opening day of muzzleloader season, October 26th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Dad has not hunted yet this season. I've only set one afternoon in my tree stand here in Oklahoma, just because I was out here and I saw some does. But we're finally getting to hunt. We've got one big mature buck named Buster on the camera. He's an ugly, fat slob. There ain't no doubt about it. His genetics are bad. He's old. And he's high on the hit list. We got one other buck we like to set our eyes on. We named him Tyson. It's the whole Buster Tyson kind of thing. And Tyson's like a 6x5, I think. Might need another year. But they're starting to act funny down here. I mean, it's actually 46 degrees outside out here. It's cooler than what they said.
Because it was 53, so.
But the bucks are definitely starting to push does around and stuff. I don't think we're hitting it quite right yet, but they're starting to cruise around a little bit. Starting to look like some of the bigger mature bucks are looking really hard for does. So you never know when that next new buck will come along. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day.
We put in a lot of effort. I think there's a really good chance of seeing multiple bucks today, as long as we can out fool their nose. We're both sitting in ground blind. I got a bum knee. Dad's had bum knees for years. We're both sitting in different ground blinds today, and so hopefully that ground blind will help block our scent. But let's get out there. Let's go hunting.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so it's like 7:38. It's plenty light to shoot. Legal shooting light was 7:14. There's a deer. There's a deer right here. Cows are crazy. Was all by herself, I think. I got pretty excited when I saw that she was a doe by herself, because our big buck Buster's been with a doe on the camera at night, and he's been in here. Look at him. These cows are so hungry by me, they're driving me nuts. They are driving me crazy. I can't hear anything because of the cows. I just heard a gunshot to the north. It could be Dad, but I don't think it was close enough to me to be Dad. I think it was still north of him. I don't know. My last text from him was 10 minutes ago, and he had 3 does there. So there's a chance that was Carlos. I hope it was. Alright, so that was Dad that shot. The shot definitely sounded weak, so I'm worried that, I don't know if you forgot to put 2 pellets of powder in or what, but it sounded really weak. He thinks he hit the deer, and it was Buster. It was the deer we were after, the big, ugly thing. I'm so excited. I just knew that spot was going to pay off for him. I just hope he hit him, and hit him good. He did not get it on video. He was having issues getting his camera going. He said he went from 3 does to 6 does. Then they started scurrying around. And then I seen him bird dogging one of the does. He was 20 yards in front of me. What you don't know is I fell out of a tree a few days ago and landed on the knot of a tree on my kneecap. So, I don't really want to drag a bunch of deer today. I won't be shooting a doe today. I'm happy for you, Dad. I really hope you got him. I really wanted that buck for you, and alright, well, Dad can't take it anymore. Just the unknown of whether or not he hit him. The deer was like 25 or 30 yards away, he said. And, he's got bad eyes. He didn't see no sign. He went and sat back in the blind. We're gonna go try to help him, try to find some sign. Hopefully he got him.
the sound of it shot and as weak as it felt, I've been concerned about it ever since.
It sounded a little weak for sure.
Oh, it was.
I didn't think it was you.
It was really weak, and I was shooting your direction.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm leaning. Like I had to lean forward and shoot, and I mean, it all happened so fast that, I mean, I had the camera thing set up over here, and I was trying to get it all going.
Yeah.
Because there was one doe, then all of a sudden there was two, and I thought, okay. So I finally figured out how to get the little square block off the end of the thing and get my camera screwed to it and get it. And the next thing I know, there's three does. And so I'm sitting there, okay, now I got it all tightened down and I got it sitting here and everything else. And then the next thing I see is another deer. And I'm like, I turned it on, but I couldn't get it on anything. It was just, and I couldn't even figure out how to turn on the video thing. I was already starting to get, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was like three more, and they just come trotting in here like something, and they kind of trotted off back over here. What's going on? And then I seen a bigger deer scooting behind them, and I thought, oh, and then I picked up my binoculars and looked, and I seen the 4-point side. I said, okay, that's that old 8-point, the smaller 8-point with no eye guards.
Yeah.
And then he turned his head and looked at me, and I said, oh shit, that's Buster.
It's Buster.
Yeah. One of her ears, it's her right ear, it hangs like a dog.
Yeah.
And the other side's got a piece out of it.
Yeah, mad deer chewed on it.
And the other one, I don't know why, but it's just hanging down. She can't stand it up.
Where was he standing?
Where was he standing?
Yeah.
That tree right there that's curled. It's about this big around. And he did that. He was coming right at me, and I was like right here looking, and then he did this. Those three does come this way, and they came right through there and going this way, and the other two standing right here, and I'm like, oh crap. And then he started running right after him, and I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna be able to shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm hurrying up, and right there he stopped, and
Yeah.
And
if the bullet went 30 yards, you should have hit him. Alright, well, I'm gonna walk over there and you tell me when I get in the right spot.
Okay.
Alright, so hands and knees looking really, really hard where Dad said this buck was standing. We found a little bit of white hair. Like, I don't know, 5 or 6 pieces of white hair. And we have found absolutely zero sign since then. We believe we found his tracks for about 5 or 10 yards and kind of continued in that direction. I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened. Dad's muzzleloader definitely didn't sound right. The bullet may not have been seated as he thought.
That's the only thing I can think of, because there was a slight delay from the 209 going off and the explosion of the pellets. So and it wasn't strong on my shoulder. It just didn't feel
right.
We've
been shooting our muzzleloaders a lot, and I had to run a bad black powder, and literally my bullet went boom. Sounded like somebody boom, shooting a spit wad, and Dad actually could see the bullet come out of the barrel and land out 30-40 yards out in front of us at the range. So I went and bought all brand new powder and resolved that issue. Unfortunately, Dad had some easy loaders already preloaded, and he's not certain he got a hold of the new powder. In fact, he's probably really thinking he's just going to throw it all away now and put new powder in them. But we don't know what to do. We have looked and looked and looked. Hopefully this deer's not fatally wounded. We keep the cameras out. Hopefully he shows back up. I did find a really cool deer. Pretty cool, really heavy horned 8-pointer that even had this cool drop time thing. So
Really big web on the
web.
this side.
Yeah, the web on both sides is pretty impressive. There's a chance that deer's in there fine. There's a chance he's not fine. We don't really know. And with having no sign at all, no blood, no other hair, no nothing on all the trails that we think he might have took.
And I have no idea what direction he went from after I shot.
We're really thinking there's a chance that that bullet just didn't have what it needed to get in there and do any damage, or he just nicked the deer's belly, since all the hair was all white. There was no brown to any of the hair.
And there should have been.
And there should have been. That's
from where I was aiming.
Most of the deer's hair that's white, you know, is on the belly, so maybe. We're gonna keep the cameras out. We're not gonna quit looking for the deer, but we're gonna quit looking for the deer right now, just because there's no reason to bugger all the woods up, because we're not seeing enough sign to suggest that the deer's fatally wounded at all. Sorry, Dad.
That's all right. I'll take it and grain of salt.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like I said, I got the excitement of it all.
There's a deer standing there, so I gotta figure out how to get up to my tree stand without scaring that deer. Walking the creek that they are in, I got within 60 yards and I spotted a fawn. And I climbed up this hill with all these dead crunchy leaves and got up in this tree and everything set up. And there's a mom and two fawns. Well, at least a mom and one fawn. Still sitting there. Maybe that's a sign of good things to come. Getting all buckled in there. Struggling.
You what?
You getting all buckled in there?
Trying to, that buckle is not that easy to put together when you can't see what you're doing.
I see that. What's your plan tonight, Carlos?
Shoot about 4 or 5 deer with a muzzle loader single shot.
All right, last night's hunt was a blast. I saw that nice fork horn. He's like a 3.5-year-old. He's got a fork and a cow horn on the other side. And then that really pretty young 8-pointer. He's got the swoopy main beans. Been wanting to see that deer. He was just gnawing on that mineral block. Got poured Megalo on top of that mineral block, and they just went right to it and started chewing on it. We have now had 2 nights go by since Dad pulled the trigger on Buster on the other farm. Haven't seen any signs of him, and he was everywhere on camera. So packing up, going back out today, gonna push further into that small chunk of property and see if we can't find him. It's really windy today, it's really hot. He should start to smell a little bit. We're gonna keep looking for Buster because it's seemingly like he may have been fatally wounded. So let's go find him. All right, so I just found Dad's buck. He doesn't know that I found it. I told him where I was at. I was like, I'm smelling something. I think he's over here for sure. I can smell him. Come over here and help me sniff him out. He's down this creek. He completely went the other direction, opposite of what Dad thought. And the deer's body is so insanely big. I mean, I didn't touch him or nothing. I just want Dad to find him like he's lying. But I'd say he went about 150 yards, 200 yards, but the problem was Dad didn't know which way he ran. And we spent our whole time looking east and south, which is the way the deer was pointing when he shot. The deer literally came back straight west. Well, actually, it's probably more like 200 or 300 yards, and died in the bottom of a creek. So, it just scared me. You see this vine right here? This vine is on this long limb, and it literally was just coming at my face real slow, like some freaky thing. It scared me. Anyway, Dad's coming. Let's get him over here. Keep going. If you ain't smelling him yet, you're gonna smell him in a second.
Go down?
Yeah, I smelled something down here. A wind swirled or something. Hold my hand, you need to. You got it?
Oh! I probably should walk right there.
Go for it. Whenever you're here. I don't smell nothing right now, but keep going.
I gotta rest. I walked a long way since you called me. My feet are hurting. I'm a whiny bitch at my 59-year-old age. Then laid on my back, stood up 3 times, 4 times.
Pretty impressive.
Oh, there he is, huh?
Huh?
So there he is, huh?
You see him?
Yeah.
Where? Sure enough.
You seen him, did you? You found him. Good job. Awesome.
I ain't gone over there.
I know, but how do you get across the damn creek without getting water in you?
I think you gotta get a little water in your boots, Dad. Not a big deal. I think you can handle it. It's not very deep.
Cool.
Holy crap. Look at the body of that thing.
Oh, it's a little bit blowed up.
I know, but his neck ain't. That's his neck, dude. Holy cow. Whoa.
Oh, I need to run him over and see where the shot is.
I'll let you really. Oh my gosh, dude. This deer is.
So it was one of the deer that I looked up and seen deer running.
This deer is so big bodied. The deer is so big. Dad? Buster's down.
Buster's dead.
I told you, I felt like we were going to find him. And we did. Well, good job, Dad. Get some pictures.
Thank you, Kyle.
I knew it. I knew we were going to find that old rascal. I mean, grab him. See if he'll move a little bit. There he is, man.
Yeah.
Golly.
Oh.
Dad, that deer is way bigger than you. I don't know what you weigh. You ain't got to tell the world, but it is much, much bigger than you. Much, much bigger. What are you doing?
He's this wide.
What is that? 20
2 feet, at least 2 feet wide
across the butt.
across the hips. This is awesome. I mean, I've been thinking about it ever since it happened. It's nice to get it recovered. I didn't see how I could have missed.
I didn't either.
Even though it was a slow, light charge, it sounded like. I knew I had to have hit him. Heck, he wasn't but 25, 30 yards away. I was in a little bit of a rush because I thought he was going to leave me. But anyway, the proof is in front of me right here, right now. So
that might be one of the oldest deer you've ever shot.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I mean, his eyeball to nose is like 5 inches. Look at that.
It's 6 inches.
It's 5 or 6 inches. That's how short and trunky his head is and blocky. And he's a 4x4. No, he's a 5x4. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's got a fishtail eye guard, this funky horn here that's been damaged. It's weird right here in the middle. It's got this kicker off here, which I guess could be another eye guard, and then he's got this little squirrely point right here.
Yeah, there's a squirrel point there.
And he's just a typical 4-point frame on this side with a bladed G2. Deer's old, on the decline, but was running around rutting does, and we wanted him gone. And Dad's very first sit, an hour into the morning, hour into legal shooting light.
And it happened.
And it happened. And it is unfortunate. The deer is not edible. But we need to roll this deer over and see where it hit it, because this might happen to you guys sometime. And all we had was a little bit of white hair. I mean, a little bit. I found like 5 pieces of hair, and that's all we had to go off of. We didn't know the deer ran this way. That was part of the problem. But I still made a circle around it and never found anything. So, lessons gonna be learned here.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad.
Love you.
Did you see your main cow?
Yeah, I got my main cow with me. Part 2, Oklahoma. I get to hang out with my main gal, Miranda.
She's got megalo. She's carrying a bag of megalo. And look at that bag of megalo.
She pulls the trigger not once, but twice in the next video. Does some blood trailing. Gets a deer down. Also, awesome archery hunts. Self-filmed, tough to do, but got a couple cool ones for you. Gonna let the arrow fly, not one time.
It's pretty cool.
Not 2 times. Actually gonna let the arrow fly 3 times in the final part of my Oklahoma deer season. Hope you enjoy it.